Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel today where we have another Football Manager 2017 experiment for you. And this time we're taking a look at Simon Grayson, who has been announced the manager of Sunderland on the 29th of June, replacing David Moyes, who oversaw the relegation to the Championship for Sunderland after many years surviving in the Premier League. Now, what we've gone and done before we kick off this experiment is we've gone into the first team and we've taken out all the players that have moved to other clubs, such as Jordan Pickford, who went to Everton for around 24 million. Jolien Lescott and Sebastian Larsson have been given free transfers. Pinar's gone to South Africa. Anna Chaby out to China. And a few others, as you can see from the squad there. It's quite a small and compact squad, so it's going to be interesting to see just how Simon Grayson gets on. Now, their media prediction is to finish 4th. John O'Shea is the captain of the club. Jermaine Defoe has gone on a free transfer to Bournemouth. Will Buckley's gone to Bolton, etc, etc. So, we're going to run through a season of the Football Manager 2017 just to see how Sunderland get on, really. Do they outperform their media prediction of 4th? Do they? Because generally speaking, in games that I've played on this series, Sunderland seem to do better than what they do in real life, so in theory they should go straight back up. But then again, we never know. Simon Grayson, let's have a quick look at his record. So as we can see here, he's got his best stat, he's probably his man management stat. He's a very experienced manager. He's managed teams such as Blackpool between 2005 and 2008, Leeds United between 2008 and 2012, and had them on the cusp of promotion, really. Huddersfield Town, he did a season there, but that one didn't really work out for him before spending 4.5 years as manager of Preston North End. He's one of the most longest serving managers in the division and possibly even in English football as a whole. I'm sure I've read that somewhere. And now he takes over as manager of Sunderland. Now the fans and everyone are going to want to see them get back into the Premier League at the first time of asking. They don't really have the greatest squad in the world, and I think he's going to have to bring a few players in to be able to do that. They were really poor in the Premier League last season. What we're going to do is we're going to use the simulation of Football Manager 2017 just to see if he can achieve that goal. Let's go and sim a year into the future. Well, I had planned to simulate to end of May, start of June of 2018. But on the 30th of December 2017, Simon Grayson was sacked by Sunderland chairman Ellis Short, citing the fact that the Sunderland players had lost confidence in their manager, making Grayson's position untenable. They currently sit 20th in the Championship. Unfortunately, Grayson's experience hasn't been able to rejuvenate Sunderland. Andre Villas-Boas, Paul Lambert, Louis van Gaal, all touted as potentials to take over the Sunderland role. Let's have a quick look at the Championship as it stands at the moment. And here we can see Sunderland currently sat down in 20th position on 32 points. Let's have a look at the squad. Let's see who they've managed to bring in first of all. And as you can see, they've brought in Peter Crouch. I think it's probably best if we go to transfers for that, really. So they've brought in Andreas Pereira from Man United for 4.5 million. Not a bad signing, really. He could do a good job for them. Ryan Sessegnon has come in on loan. That's a lot of money per month for a young lad, like 165 grand a month. That's a lot of money for a developing player. I mean, he turns out to be quite good in the game, but they could be spending that better elsewhere, really. Michael Hector has come in from Chelsea on loan. Cuco Martina for 400k has come in. He's a right wing back. We can play quite a few different positions, really. And again, reasonable enough signing for that sort of level. Crouchy's come in from Stoke. Leonardo Aloa for 1.7, potentially rising to 2.6. Now, he can obviously do a very good job in the Championship, and he's played 27 games so far for 9 goals. So, yeah, I mean, I did plan to go right the way through on this and expect Simon Grayson to have got Sunderland, I mean, at least in contention for the playoffs. To see them sat down in 20th is a bit of a concern, really. And there's every chance they might go down again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue this on to the 31st of May. And then we're going to come back and we're going to see if actually they might have gone down into League One. But that's going to depend on who they bring in next. But if you're a Sunderland fan, this is a bit of a concern. Okay then, so we're back here and it is now the 31st of May 2018 and Sunderland have indeed avoided the drop down to League One and they remain in the Championship here on 46 games played for 60 points. They really turned it around in the back end of the season. Let's go in and have a look at who is their manager. And they brought in Javier Aguirre, who came in from Al Wada. I think he was announced on the 13th of January 2018. So, I mean, he's had 3 or 4 months, well, I'd say 4 months to really have a say here at Sunderland. And with those stats, I mean, you can see immediately he's a better manager in the game than Simon Grayson. So, obviously, he's had quite a good effect since coming in. Let's have a look at his achievements since coming into the Sunderland role. So, he joined on the 13th of January. He changed the formation. He bought Izzy Brown from Chelsea for 10.25 million. I mean, he's a good young player. Couldn't really knock that with a view to the future. He's played 15 games for them, scoring a goal. He's going to be quite okay. He also hired Steve Clarke as his assistant manager. And Steve Clarke has obviously managed teams himself. He was also the assistant at Chelsea and Newcastle back in the day. Let's have a look here at what else he's done. So he's brought in Andy Carroll for 10.75 million. So that's the kind of target man role that some of the quicker players can come off him. And Sunderland, he's played 16 games, scoring 6 goals. Relatively fair return. I mean, he wouldn't probably get injured as much as he does in real life on here. He's loaned Ante Koric from Dinamo. Again, a good sign in that. Attacking playmaker, advanced midfielder in Ganche, Trecotista. He can play quite a few positions, and he's played 5 games for them, scoring a goal. He brought in Liam Mandeville for 2.7 million from Doncaster. He hasn't yet played a game though for Sunderland, but again, it's early days yet. James Wilson, he's also brought in. He's played 2 games so far for no goals, but again, you know, a good bit of business there, considering he brought him in for 1.9, potentially rising up to 2 million. He won in the FA Cup 5th round against Derby, but was knocked out by Chelsea in the 6th round of the FA Cup. But basically, I mean, he's managed to turn around the fortunes of Sunderland, who were looking quite poor when we come to the 1st of January. They were down in 20th, if you remember. And he's made the right kind of signings here to give them a chance. So what I'm going to do, I mean, I know this experiment was basically about Simon Grayson, and he didn't really even make it till Christmas, getting sacked on the 30th of December, is I'm going to go another year into the future and see if this Javier Aguirre manages to get Sunderland back into the Premier League. Now, their media prediction for next season is to finish 3rd. So we're going to skip into 2019. We're going to come back on the 31st of May. We're not going to bother with the Christmas this time round. And we're going to see if they can get back into the Premier League. Welcome back then, and we are now in the 31st of May 2019 here, and Sunderland have indeed regained promotion back to the Premier League. They finish in 2nd on 82 points, ahead of Sheffield Wednesday on goal difference, and they go up via the automatic promotion spots. Reading, winners of the league, 10 points ahead on 92 points. Let's go in and have a look at the Sunderland profile, and as we can see, Javier Aguirre is still the manager, and he's known as El Vasco, that's his nickname, or the Basque if you want to translate that into English. But he's done a good job here with Sunderland. He's got them back into the Premier League. He took over, remember, when they were struggling down in 20th position on the 1st of January 2018. Simon Grayson was sacked on the 30th of December. And he's done reasonably well with the transfers he's brought in. He's brought in Phil Can, who's a regen, who's got pretty decent stats there for just 750k potential overall. He's got rid of a lot of dead wood from the team. He's brought in Tyrone Mings from Bournemouth for 825k, now valued at 4 million. I'd say that was a really good purchase. He's played 36 games for Sunderland since making the switch. Mike van der Hoorn comes in from Swansea, good solid defensive option, and he's played 12 games for them since coming in from Swansea. That is another good bit of transfer business for him. Bradley Dack has come in on a free transfer, and he's now valued at 8.5 million. Again, really good transfer that for the Mexican manager. 16 games he's played for them, scoring 4 goals. He come from Gillingham on a free transfer, now valued at £8.5 million. Regan Poole coming from Manchester United on a free. Hasn't played any games for them competitively yet, and he's very much a work in progress. I mean, I'm not too sure about that one really, but I suppose for free you can't really complain. And obviously Marco Silvestri came in on a loan deal from Leeds. He hasn't played any competitive games, but he'd have been a backup option to Vito Manoni, and obviously Micah, who has played the most games, 40 games for them. Micah has played, Portuguese player. So Sunderland are back in the Premier League now. It probably took a season longer than a lot of people expected, but I'd suggest he's done a really good job here of transforming them back into a Premier League outfit. He's brought in some nice young players, some really good business, the likes of Tyrone Mings and Bradley Dack. Both are going to be quite good players for them. They've got the likes of James Wilson, who scored 6 in 14. Andy Carroll, 18 goals in the season. Izzy Brown, 10 in 25. So we can't really complain at that, really. I hope you enjoyed this Football Manager 2017 experiment. Sunderland are once again a Premier League side, although not with Simon Grayson, as we had hoped when we did this experiment. But fingers crossed that Grayson can get the job done and it doesn't end up the same way it has here on Football Manager 2017. If you've enjoyed this little episode, please leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new, remember to subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager 2017 content. And obviously, when 2018 comes out, we'll be doing that as well. But for the rest of today, guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.